Hi friends, Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library, and I'm here today with some new friends to talk to you about some really great books that I think you might enjoy. So you're probably wondering, why am I covered in all these dragons? Well, the short version of the story is I got all these eggs randomly from this trader from Zanzibar, and I didn't expect them all to hatch so soon, and I especially didn't expect them to hatch all at the same time. But they did, and now I've got all these baby dragons flying around here, trying to feed them, keep up with giving them chicken nuggets because that's what they love best. But, huh, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. But anyway, the first thing that they said to me when they first were able to start being able to talk was, why haven't I done any videos featuring books about dragons? And you know what? They're totally right. I've been doing these videos for a while now, and I really haven't done any featuring books about dragons or, stories that take place with dragon worlds. And, well, no time like the present, right? Seems like a great time to go ahead and do that. So today I'm going to be talking about some books that I think you might like that have to do with dragons. And the first one is a very, very, very classic series, which is the Pern series by Anne McCaffrey. Now, there are lots of different ways you can start reading the series. It can be a little daunting because there are so many books. But there are lots of different ways. There's no real wrong way to start reading the series. The very first book is called Dragonflight. So you could definitely start here, and that's not a problem. My particular favorite series within the series is the Harper Hall series, and that starts with Dragon Song. Here's a good place to start too. Basically, this whole series is about this planet called Pern, where there are these dragons and these riders that bond with them, and they help protect the planet. And obviously, it's so much more involved than that, but that's the basic outline of it. And it's just a really, really wonderful series. If you're looking for something really classic to read, something that just really built the fantasy genre, this is definitely a good one. Like I said, you can start with Dragonflight is a really good place to start. Or you can also start with Dragon Song. But look through the books, see which ones appeal to you. And like I said, you can really start in a lot of different places in the series and it won't hurt your reading enjoyment. So that is the Pern series by Anne McCaffrey. Now next, this is a really exciting, unique series. And it's called the Temeraire series. And this is by Naomi Novik. Now, Naomi Novik is one of my favorite authors, mostly because she writes a lot of other fantasy books for adults and young people that are just absolutely fantastic. But this series is really unique and incredible. Look at that cover. Isn't that cool? So this series takes the genre of fantasy and flips it completely around. And it says, hey, what if the Napoleonic Wars were fought with dragons? What? What if England and France were fighting, but instead of ships and armies, they were fighting on top of flying dragons? Well, that's what this series is about, and it's absolutely crazy and amazing. It's really well written. If you're interested in warfare and naval battles and things like that, and those types of stories, you will probably also really like this. You don't have to be a fantasy fan, I don't think. The writing is really fantastic, but this is a series that spans a few different genres, which is great because it welcomes in readers of all different kinds, right? So it's absolutely fantastic, and I highly, highly recommend it. And this is the Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. It's so very good. Now, last but not least, this is a newer book. It actually came out earlier this year, and it's called Highfire by Eoin Colfer. Now, you might recognize this author because this is the same author of the Artemis Fowl series, which is a book series for young people about spies that's really good. This is, I believe, their first adult novel, and it is absolutely hilarious and very different from the other series that has been written by this author. So this is about a dragon named Wyvern who used to be really scary and everybody feared him, and now he's just kind of existing. He lives in the swamp, he smokes a lot of cigarettes, he watches a lot of Netflix. He's basically bored with his life. And he meets this boy named Squib, who is a troublemaker, kind of like Wyvern. and he kind of has to protect him from all the really crappy things that are going on in his life. And the two of them team up and just form this really amazing friendship. Now, there is a lot of foul language in this book, which is done in such a way that it's actually really funny, even if you're a person that doesn't really like that in books. I don't normally, but it's done in such a way here that's just absolutely hilarious. This book is basically like a buddy cop book, but instead of cops, it's a dragon and a boy, and it's absolutely hilarious. They're just these troublemakers. They get into all kinds of adventures and, you know, basically just form this really absolutely fantastic friendship. And again, you really don't have to be a fan of like dragons or fantasy to like this book. It's a very contemporary story set in, you know, in today's time and down in the South in the swamps, and it's fantastic. It's an absolutely fantastic book. This book was not on my radar, and I kind of picked it up on a whim, and I fell in love with it. So if you're just looking for something really fun, like I said, it's got a lot of hijinks in it, super hilarious. Highfire by Eoin Colfer. Alright friends, well, I hope that these books sound really cool and interesting. If they do, please feel free to put them on hold through our catalog, and you can actually pick them up during our curbside service hours. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and wish me luck with all these new dragons. Bye friends.